Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening, fine and you.
Good. I guess let's start with you telling me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, um, my first year high school. Um, I don't really do too much except for just play basketball, and that's really it. Nothing really. Not really into a lot of things. Not much.
Okay. Well, let's see. I guess since you're in high school, that means pretty soon you'll be graduating and moving on with your life. So, if you were granted one wish to do anything or be anything that you wanted, what would that be and why?
Let's see. That's hard. It would probably to be able to go to one of the greatest medical schools there is, because like I don't know, it's just like my dream job is to be OBGYN, and if I can get if I could be able to go to one of the greatest medical schools, I could possibly be able to, like, what am I trying to say? If I could be able to go to one of the greatest schools, I'll get a good education, and then I'll be one of the greatest OBGYN doctors, be able to make a lot of money and do a lot of stuff with my doctor's degree.
Okay. Now I hear you saying if. So it sounds like you're a little skeptical about, like, you feel like it could happen, but maybe not.
Yeah, cause it's like I said, if because like it's if it's the greatest medical school there is, then it's gonna be pretty hard to get into that school. So like, it's not a possibility that it's not a possibility that anybody could just get into it. You have to they basically check far back as, I don't know, like seventh, eighth grade in their grades, and then it's just they it's a lot of stuff to go through, and they probably pick one of the highest, most of the highest students there is, and I really don't think like I would be in the highest. Probably be around like the mid. You
Okay. So you're sounds like you might be a little maybe afraid that you're not as smart as some of the other students that might be trying to apply for that program, or
Yeah, like I kind of think that because like now that I'm in high school, like stuff is harder and it's like a lot more work, and like most of the time, like whenever I'm in class, it's like some stuff I'm like, oh, I get this. But then once it comes to the test, I see it and I'm like, oh, I know what this is. And then I do it, and then when I get back, it's like I missed it. And so it's like most of the stuff, it's like hard, and I don't understand it. So like it's not like I'm one of the smartest people where it's like, oh, I know this, I know that, and I'm getting all A's. That's like probably people they're gonna want. They're going to want.
so it's important to you to get good grades or to make all A's.
Yeah, that's really important because like me seeing my report card, or just my progress report, not even that, just seeing my grades, and if it says like just a 70, like that's not good enough for me. Like like I need to at least for me I need to at least have an 85 or above. Cause like whenever I see my grade, like I like if I like even on a benchmark, if I get lower than a 60, I'm upset with myself. If I even get lower than a if I'm not even passing, I'm upset with myself because like I know I can do better, and me having low grades just makes me think like, why are my grades that low? I can do better. I need to get a higher grade than that.
So it sounds like you're disappointed with yourself because you didn't get the grade that you felt like you should have gotten.
Basically, because me having low grades isn't really something that probably like I know 70 is passing, but it's like barely passing. Like it's the minimum, and I know I can do more than the minimum. I can like do like at least like more to be like what am I trying to think of? I can I can basically do more than the minimum, like way more than the minimum.
So you're kind of disappointed with yourself because you feel like you can do much better as far as your grades on exams, and um, you feel like you just need to apply yourself more, or maybe you need to. Do you feel like you're not studying enough, so you're upset with yourself because you're not studying as much as you should?
Sometimes I think that, but then it's like you can't. It's not like to, cause like I think that sometimes, but it's like you can't just stay up all night and study, and then next day be tired. And if you study too much, you're gonna be too tired to take the test, and that can hurt your grade also. So it's just like sometimes I don't even know. It's just like I push myself, but like with algebra, I push myself and I still get a low grade. So I don't even know. I don't know if it's if I don't understand it or if it's just that I'm not trying hard enough.
Okay, so you're a little confused when you take the exam because you feel like you know the information and you feel like you've studied and you're expecting to get a good grade. And then once you get the results back and it's not what you thought you were going to get, then you don't understand why you got that grade.
Yeah, because like when they give us papers and stuff to do in class and the homework, I look at it it's just like, oh, I can do this. I finish it quickly. Like in class, I'm one of the first people to be done because I know what I'm doing. Like I understand it. But for some reason, when I get to the test, I don't like. It's like, oh, I see it. And I'm like, oh, we did this the other day. I know what I'm doing. But somewhere in there, I don't know what I'm doing apparently, and I do something wrong, and I miss the question.
It's like maybe you feel like maybe there's something different on the test from what you've studied.
Probably it's probably it's probably that, or maybe I'm just like pushing myself too hard and overthinking it and putting too much into it, and then like I just mix it up instead of doing what I'm doing something else. Instead of doing one thing, I do something else and just overthinking myself.
So sometimes you get a little confused about.
It was just like one minute I think this, the next I think this. Just like sometimes I don't even understand. I don't understand myself sometimes. It's just confusing.
Okay. So I guess to kind of go back and summarize what you said, um, if you had an opportunity to do anything, you had a wish, you want to go to get into one of the best medical schools because you want to be an OBGYN, and you feel like it's very important at this point in your life, in high school and even kind of going back to when you were in junior high, to make sure that you have good grades so that you can be competitive with some of the other students that are applying for medical school. But sometimes you have difficulties in your class when you're taking your test because you get confused with the information because you feel like you've studied, but when you actually take the test, um, you kind of get the information mixed up and then you end up getting your results back and you didn't do so well.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Like that's how that's just how it is. I guess you just can't push yourself. Like you can't push yourself too hard where you don't get stuff right. Like where you don't understand stuff. Just make sure you read the questions. I just make sure I read the questions and not overthink myself, overdo stuff, and just like study good enough and then read through multiple times, but not like take my time, but not too long where it's like longer than a time period.
Okay. So you feel like if you just kind of slow down a little bit and take your time, read the questions, not analyze so much what the question is asking, but just focus on what the basic information is that they're asking, and you answer that question, then you'll be able to do well on your test. So,
Yep.
okay. Well, thank you very much, Miss Deja, for spending some time with me this evening.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.